Here's how to play the thing at a high level, because I know you demons are going to force lock him in ranked and be absolutely cheeks with him. Oh my god! So the first thing of note is the thing is not a main tank. He is a tank 2 or an off tank. His job is to protect the backline and be a nuisance to the enemy. But by no means is he a great solo tank. He does not have any shielding, and honestly, if he's taking the brunt force of the damage, he's going to get KO'd. His playstyle is more like Thor than anything else, where his job is to disrupt and be annoying and protect, because he does a great job of that. I usually don't like walking through these guys' kits when I'm making these videos, but I'm going to do a quick walkthrough because he is brand new. The thing's left click is a simple punch combo. He does the same 2 rotation back and forth nonstop, and it does pretty good damage. So it's really good to weave in between abilities, but I find his right click far more fun and effective to use. The thing's right click is called Stone Haymaker, and the thing about this ability is that it cleaves multiple people when you use it. It is a charged punch that you cannot change the duration of, no matter how long you hold the click for or if you tap it. It's always the same duration. It doesn't mention this in the tooltip, but he also gets 50 shield every time he uses that ability, and it has 0 cooldown. It does not stack. It always brings him to an additional 50, and then it'll fall back down by the time he can use the punch again. In my opinion, when there's a team around you or in front of you, I use that right click far more than I ever left click, because hitting more people at once is a massive benefit. His right click has a surprising range, and you are able to hit flyers. I'm noticing some weird animations where I was able to catch flyers deep in the sky, because if I initiated the punch while they were in my range, it almost gave me extra range to hit them, as you can see here. So I think there is something to talk about, and we're going to need more testing to where if you start your punch in range and you go outside of the range, it still lands on them. Yo, this is the best character alive. His passive is that he's immune to launch up and knockback, but there are some exceptions to certain movements that actually can move the thing. I talk about them in my previous video, but moral of the story, the Storm's ult can still move, Invisible Woman's orb can still move him, Groot's wall can move him, and Jeff can spit him out maybe a foot. There's some other stuff too, but watch that video. Yancy Street Charge is a charge ability where he can run around for 6 seconds, and then whenever he releases the ability or clicks the ability again, depending on your settings, you will create a zone. This zone, if it affects or hits any enemies, enables them to not be able to use any movement ability. They don't use the terminology, but it's essentially a grounding ability, and you can see the effect of those stones circling the enemies when they are affected by the ground. Preventing movement abilities has so much utility, but it's really good in protecting your backline against dive heroes. Imagine if a dive hero is unable to get away. But it's also really good in chasing supports or other backline that you want to try to chase down and knock out. The Yancy Street Charge will also give you 200 additional HP while you're charging and make you immune to all sorts of knockback and stun. Running through backlines and shoulder checking them all the time while your team's healing you is really valuable. One of the most nuanced parts about this character is understanding when to use that ability, whether you want to use it offensively or defensively, because if you waste it, you're going to be in trouble. Before we proceed with the video, likes, follows, comments, all that stuff helps me immensely. I would greatly appreciate it. The next ability I want to talk about is his Embattled Leap. This ability is insane because you can look at an ally, dive to them, and give you and that ally 40% damage reduction for 4 seconds. This has 2 major uses. One, if you see your backline getting dove, obviously diving to them and protecting them is super valuable, while you can help battle them off and then obviously lock down whoever's diving them so they can't get away, and then try to take out the person that's diving your backline, really protecting them. But it's also really good prior to initiation. If you have an ally in front of you or at least near you, before you initiate, I highly suggest diving to them, getting that reduction, and then initiating on whoever you want to take out. Having that reduction at all times or as much as possible is the best and only way to play this character. And finally, we have his ultimate ability of Clobbering Time, which is a large AoE stun that'll knock up enemies and leave them vulnerable for you to dive in. It reaches about 15 meters and no farther, so make sure you understand that. Clobbering Time cannot be blocked by shields, but it can be blocked by hard cover like Groot walls. So while you can use it in the front line, I would highly suggest using it in more of a backline dive playstyle where you try to find a way to sneak into the backline, look for supports, drop down, and initiate with Clobbering Time. This is because it's almost a guaranteed way to get at least 1 or 2 KOs, because if you stun the backline, there's nothing they can do about it. One of the secrets about this ultimate is you can actually initiate it in the air, so it actually has less reaction time for the enemy to notice, because you can jump down on them, initiate it, and as soon as you hit the ground, it'll start the ult up. They'll still be stunned for you to get a couple picks. So here's how to use his abilities in combination if you want to be aggressive. You're always going to want to use Embattled Leap on an ally, okay? So you're going to use that Embattled Leap on an ally to get your damage reduction for your 4 seconds. If enemies are close, I would not suggest initiating with the Yancy Street Charge unless you know that they are KOable, because if you use that ability, you are out your shield and your escape method. That being said, if they're about to escape and you really want to ensure you get the kill, make sure you pepper that ability immediately, because it will not allow them to use their movement abilities, so you guys can take them out. It has a ton of value in that, but just make sure you're keeping in mind that you always want to have that ability up to escape as well, because it does give you shield, or at least buy you time for your healers to look at you, so you can keep shoulder checking enemies while you have additional health. And you can actually keep running down enemies with this ability while you're trying to stay alive, which is good. And then if you ever want to escape, look back at an ally and dash back out. On the defensive playstyle, it's much more simple. If an enemy is getting dove by dive heroes, all you really have to do is look at them and use Embattled Leap. Get in front of them and start your battle with the enemy. If you know it's something like Venom and you know how his ability set works, where he's going to dive you, he's going to fight, and then he's going to shield, what I would suggest doing is battling him for a while until you see him use his shield and you know he's going to try to escape, fight him for a little bit more, and then immediately use your knock-up lockdown to not allow him to web away, so that your team can finish him off before he gets his escape. And if you need extra time, don't be afraid to get a little greedy with clobbering time and use it just to ensure you get that pick. One pick with an ultimate is always worth it, especially as you climb ranks. Dive comps get dismantled when they lose at least one of their dive participants. The strengths of the thing is that he's a really good off tank. He protects backline like no other, which is really good because dive is going to be very prevalent this season with all the buffs towards the dive heroes. He's going to be effective into the new meta of things like Venom, Cap, Spider-Man, Panther, Magic, and even Wolverine. But he's going to greatly struggle into flyers because he doesn't have a ton of ways to take out flyers. The new really strong meta of things like Storm and Human Torch, as well as really strong poke compositions, Magneto, Hela, and Hawkeye. Because to be honest, he has no ways to hit flyers except for if he lands jump punches, which I was able to do a few times in these games. And he has no real way to protect himself against heavy poke damage besides his shields, which will fall, and they're on relatively long cooldowns, with this being at a 10-second cooldown for his Yancy Street dive. For team ups, he does have the Fantastic Four ability where if he has Sue as an anchor, he's able to pop that ability to get 100 shield, constantly regenerating while he fights enemies, which is really good to use prior to any single fight. It's not going to be absolutely game changing, but it does help. But in my personal opinion, his best team up is actually with Wolverine, because he can throw Wolverine much like Hulk does, which, you know, wasn't considered the best team up prior, but it's really good with the thing. And here's why. When you throw Wolverine in, you can actually dash with him, give him damage reduction, and put you both on that point that you threw him at. Both of you diving enemies together like that with damage reduction is terrifying. So I'm going to show some gameplay, but likes, follows, shares, comments, all that stuff helps me immensely. Coming over to the stream as we're going to be going ham on the season start Friday morning. So drop in and say what's up, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Oh my God! Back to my friends. I'll f*** him up. Let's go! I think I got all of them.
I'm close to it.
Do you want me to initiate or you want to initiate? I'll let you throw him down and then I'll TP on him.
Yeah, it's okay. That'll happen, get that out, but you know.
There, fine, I'm damage booster. I got way so much damage in front of him.
Using it, using it, using it.
I am ready to sit on a stone.
Through.
Oh my God. She got away. Oh, no, her teammate got away. I was gonna say that's wild. She got away.
Dude, he's so fun.
I don't think anybody got away. They all died.
No, one person got in their spawn.
Thinking Torch will be banned early and often or not. I think they'll probably ban Storm because she gets the power from his ult. Like, but he's definitely good. It'll be cool to have him in the mix. I love how he can hit multiple people with his punch. That shit is so dope. I almost have ult again.
Look, guys. Have fun.
Wow, that punch hit her. Can you believe that?
It's CLOBBER. So the thing is,
Yo, this is the best character alive.
No support ults? It cooks.
What a sly god.
No pun intended.
Low-key.
Well, I just... Hold on. The addition of these heroes are amazing.
So fun, man. So good. This is where people sound low. I'll turn them up. Where's the bad guys? Oh, I feel bad just diving her 24/7. Nice freeze. No! Oh my god, chat.
GG.
GG's, babies.
Could've let me have it, huh?
Oh, sorry, brother.
Dude,